Today's topic that we are going to learn is Human Development Index. So it is an important indicator that we are going to learn. So HDI meaning it is nothing but a composite index. We are using a statistical tool to measure and quantify important social factors, economic factors, and other health factors. So this is the meaning that you have to use. So when it comes to the origin of HDI, so it was originated during 1990s when UNO, our intergovernmental organization, that actually went on to release a report, that is Human Development Report, in the year 1990 under United Nations Development Program. So that is the mechanism which worked with the publishing of this HDI. So it's the initial Human Development Index that we are referring to. So the proponents of HDI is none other than Dr. Mahbub, who served as former finance minister of Pakistan, and in addition to that, he also took the stewardship of creating this Human Development Index with other economists. So under UNO, so he is widely regarded with this index and also considered as chief architect of Human Development Index. So the other proponent is none other than is a proud Indian. So the first Indian economist to receive Nobel Prize, Dr. Amartya Sen, was always associated with the introduction of HDI, even though Mahbub Ullah, who is being closely associated in terms of introduction of HDI, Dr. Amartya Sen's approach, that is capabilities approach and functioning approach, which talks about the potential human development, and he also wrote a book, that is Freedom as Development. It is the Indian version in 1999, which also talks about different human development factors. So he is closely associated with the introduction of HDI, but it was introduced under the stewardship of uh, Mahbub Ullah. So three important indicators, or you can call it as, what do you call, dimensions. Dimensions, those are life expectancy at birth. The second dimension is education and knowledge. Initially it was called knowledge. Now we are quantifying the index, education index, and ultimately GNI, uh, at purchasing power parity. Okay, so we are quantifying the decent standard of living with GNI. Initially it was GDP per dollar, per capita income. Now we are quantifying it with GNI, gross national income. And if we are going to calculate per capita income, that is also based on GNI. GNI is nothing but total income, total income earned by the residents of an economy in a national territory. National territory is nothing but both domestic territory, domestic territory, and net factor income from abroad. Okay, so net factor income from abroad, so that is the foreign residents who are like foreign nationals, like there's a residents who are residing in foreign countries. So those income which they are earning will become your net factor income, that is deducted with the foreign nationals who are actually having their companies or working here. So all those things gets deducted, and ultimately that income will become your gross national income, and we are gauging it with purchasing power parity. Okay, so later on we are going to learn as to how we are going to quantify this purchasing power parity in terms of GNI, in order to understand the decent standard of living. So how do we constitute indices? So you have long and healthy life, which talks about longevity of a person, and you have knowledge, which there are two components in which we quantify this knowledge or education, that is expected years of schooling, and we also talk about mean years of schooling there. Okay, so and decent standard of living, as I've already recited that GNI per capita purchasing power parity. See, purchasing power parity is nothing but, let's say, so one dairy milk, it costs around 10 rupees in India, 10 rupees in India, but in US, let's say, it costs around $1. Okay, so $1 is equal to, let's assume it has 100 rupees. But when some person from America who visits to India, so he can buy that same what same a dairy milk chocolate with 17 rupees. Okay, so the purchasing power parity here changes when compared to international dollars. International dollars. So one chocolate, $1 is equal to 17 rupees in terms of purchasing power parity. Okay, in terms of purchasing power parity, India ranks third. GDP in terms of purchasing power parity, GDP in terms of purchasing power parity, India ranks third. First is USA, and then comes China, and ultimately third rank is India. Let's start with the first dimension, long healthy life. uh, so which talks about the longevity. So here there is a formula which I've pasted in this presentation. So life expectancy per 2009 report is minimum value of a person is 25 years, maximum value is 85 years, but now the minimum value has reduced to 20 years. The formula for it is actual value minus minimum value divided by maximum value minus minimum value. Okay, so I've said that now recently the minimum value has reduced to 20 years. So let's assume India's actual value or life expectancy at birth is 60, and the minimum value is, let's say, 20, and of course you have uh, the maximum value, that is 85 minus 20. Okay, so 60 minus 20, let's say it is 40, and then 85 minus 20, that is 65. Okay, so when we subtract this, it is somewhere around 0.4 or 49. Let's assume it as 0.4. Okay, so that is how we are going to quantify this life expectancy. Okay, so just an hypothetical estimate. I did a hypothetical approximate value, that is 0.4 I've taken. So the second is education. So education, like I've already said, there are two components out of it: mean years of schooling and expected years of schooling. Okay, expected will be the highest, that is of 18 years. Mean years of schooling is of 15 years. That is what the criteria that is given by HDI. So when we amalgamate this, let's say 15 plus 18 divided by 2, the average of it will be around 16.5. So because that is 15 plus uh, that is 33 divided by 2, that will become 16.5 by 2 by, okay, 16.5 when we divide 33 by 2. Okay, so this happens with the expected years of schooling index and also the mean years of schooling index when we take the average out of it. Okay, so this is an important things. So the formula which is now being used is two-third index of average literacy index and also gross enrollment index. So that has been taken for two-third weightages for average literacy index and one-third weightages for gross education index. But we'll go with the conventional one. So I'll go back and forth. See, we have used actual values minus minimum value, maximum value minus minimum value. Okay, so we'll use the same thing: actual value versus minimum value, maximum value versus minimum value. Let's say okay, let's say that the expected years of schooling is 5 point, or let's say 6.9, and mean years of schooling is 11.1. Okay, so expected years of schooling is 6.9, and mean years of schooling is 11.1. Okay, I'll just round it off. Okay, I've highlighted it. 11.1 plus 6.9, so that accounts for 17. 17 divided by 2, 2 ones are 2, 8 is a 16. Okay, 8.5, that is, okay, 2 8 is a 16, 8.5 is your average of mean years of schooling plus expected years of schooling. Okay,